Coming up on the CW News at 9, 3 candidates for governor answer the public's questions today in Madison. Plus, a fundraiser tonight helps one local woman who lost her home in the August flooding.
Very calm conditions across the region today, and we're going to be holding on to this quiet weather. The CW News at 9 starts right now.
News when you need it. And your no-wait weather. CW News at 9 starts right now.
Very quiet conditions and sunny skies for our Sundays.
Today, a gubernatorial forum was held at Edgewood High School. 3 of the candidates on the ballot attended: Philip Anderson of the Libertarian Party, Arnie Enns of the Wisconsin Party, and Michael J. White of the Wisconsin Green Party. Candidates spoke on several issues, including education, Foxconn, gun violence, and the legalization of marijuana.
Running for governor of Wisconsin as a libertarian. I got involved in politics because I realized a number of years ago that the two-party system is not only broken, but it doesn't really represent individual people anymore.
The second reason I'm running is that I've become convinced that the two major parties are so busy beating each other about the head that they're not focusing on the issue.
What I'm trying to do is reform our government so we can transform our society, right? Because our government creates and codifies the rules and how we all live together.
Students from the American Political Systems class at Edgewood High School, they organized the public event.
So I think that the third-party candidates are a good medium in between the left and the right, and they have a lot of good ideas, and they're able to focus just on the issues because they're not maybe so concerned about the media attention and the publicity.
We would like to share a little bit about
all 6 candidates running for governor were invited to today's forum. And U.S. Senate candidates continue their final campaign push ahead of the midterm elections. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin and Lieutenant Governor candidate Mandela Barnes were in Madison today, part of an early vote rally headlined by U.S. Senator Kamala Harris. After the rally, attendees walked to the early voting location to cast their ballots. Yesterday, Baldwin had an early vote rally concert with Wisconsin band Bon Iver, and earlier that day, Baldwin was in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Republican challenger Leah Vukmir continued her bus tour across Wisconsin, visiting towns from the Fox Valley to the suburbs of Milwaukee. She has reiterated most of her campaign platform and how it aligns with Governor Walker and President Trump, but she also emphasized that it was important to get out and vote to keep Wisconsin in Republican control. A house in the township of Cottage Grove was fully engulfed today in flames. This is according to Dane County Communications Center. They say 8 emergency agencies responded to the 2000 block of Appaloosa Lane. The call came in around 4 p.m. Everyone made it out of the house okay, including the pets, and there are no reports of injuries at this time. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. And we now know the names of the victims in a fatal crash near Lake Delton. 55-year-old Scott Miller passed away, and 3 other passengers in that car have life-threatening injuries. In the other car, 4 passengers did not sustain injuries. The crash remains under investigation. Tonight, Madison police are investigating the shooting of a teenager last night around 10:45. 2 men were walking on the 7,000 block of Raymond Road when 2 other men tried to rob them. Now, a 16-year-old boy was shot during the robbery. He was taken to a hospital for non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. The incident is still under investigation. And Fitchburg police are looking for a man in connection with an armed robbery this afternoon. According to Fitchburg police, at 12:15 p.m., a man entered the liquor town on Williamsburg Way in Fitchburg with a hood over his head covering his face. He pointed a silver semi-automatic handgun at the clerk and demanded money. A customer was also held at gunpoint. The suspect fled the store and has not been located. The man is described as approximately 200 pounds, between 5'9" and 6 feet tall. He was wearing black pants and a black hooded sweatshirt. Police are asking that anyone with information call the Fitchburg Police Department. Authorities in Jacksonville, Florida say 6 people ranging in age from 20 to 70 have been shot, and 3 of them are in critical condition. The shooting happened this afternoon, according to Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. 5 of the victims are male and 1 is a female. Investigators say the suspects were in a gray sedan and the shooter took aim from the passenger side. Officials believe the horrific event may be gang-related.
But the whole community is shook up right now, and I assured them that this guy going to get caught, and I assured them that the council's been very active right now, really trying to come up with solutions.
Investigators say the shooter took aim from the passenger side, as we mentioned, and there is thought that this may be gang related. Today, the community gathered at the Club Tavern in Middleton to help out a member of the community. Friends gathered to raise money and repair the damage to Patty Klein's farm, which was destroyed from the floods earlier this year. Her farm sustained more than $300,000, but today she topped over $20,000 towards rebuilding her home and where she works.
We're moving along, and now I think we have some foundation outside stuff to do. They're coming next week, and then some more with the boulder wall and landscape stuff. But I have heat, I have electricity, I have my new freezer, so we're back home.
So Klein has worked for the city of Middleton for more than 30 years. Now she looks to rebuild her life and give back to the friends who've helped out. A 52-year-old Princeton man was killed after a boat capsized in Green Lake County Saturday morning. The capsizing was on the Fox River at the mouth of Lake Puckaway. 2 duck hunters and 1 dog were returning from a morning hunt when high winds and waves capsized their boat. 1 man and a dog made it to shore and called 911. Several agencies responded to search for the man. Princeton Fire and Water Rescue located the victim in the water around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. And new information tonight from a report that says Wisconsin is seeing a shortage of psychiatrists, with 20 of the 72 counties lacking practicing psychiatrists. Wisconsin's Public Radio reports that the Wisconsin Policy Forum found that some counties are sharing the practicing psychiatrists they have. The group says that there are initiatives aimed at drawing psychiatrists to underserved areas. In 2017, Wisconsin Department of Health Services reported more than half of adults who need mental health treatment aren't getting it. 80,000 people die last year from the flu and its complications last year. That's according to the Center for Disease Control. And they said that 900,000 people were hospitalized due to the flu. Dr. Reed Olson of SSM Health calls the flu a lurking giant, and it's so scary because each year we don't know what exactly the virus will look like. He says that in the past few years we've seen strong flu seasons, and paired that with vaccines that may not have been as effective as they were in previous year, the virus has really made an impact. Dr. Olson said that those 80,000 deaths are shocking.
That's staggering when you think about that. And the problem with influenza is it hits hard and it can hit fast. So people can be absolutely healthy one day, 1 hour, and 3 hours later they can be terribly sick. And a lot of people will succumb to it even within 48 hours.
Dr. Olson said the best thing you could do to keep yourself and others healthy is to get your flu shot if you can. He said that those who don't get flu shots will then have less of a chance of catching it if more people have the vaccine. We're learning more about what it was like inside a party near Clemson University overnight when the floor collapsed. Take a look at this video. It happened inside off-campus apartments where a private fraternity party was celebrating homecoming. Dozens of people were dancing when suddenly the floor just gave way. You saw it there. 2 men were visiting from Charleston were in the middle of it all, and they say it was scary and seemed more like something out of a movie.
You got that sensation of like a trampoline. The floor was starting to vibrate really bad, and then next thing you know, the floor gave out from under us and you just start falling. And then somebody cut the lights on real quick, and then all you see is people everywhere piled up.
Police say 30 people were taken to area hospitals. None of the injuries appear to be life-threatening, though. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued at least 15 people from a boat that caught fire near San Diego. Yesterday, rescuers got the call from another boat where crews were saying that the fishing boat was on fire and several people were in the water. That boat crew was able to pull 15 people out, but told rescuers at least 3 others were still in the water. Officials say 2 people were taken to a hospital in critical condition with full body burns.
You know, it's always a very coordinated effort whenever we have any type of incident, and this is a good example of that. You know, something out in the ocean where you have all these different agencies pulling together and making rescues and saving lives.
So right now, the Coast Guard is still searching for the other 3 people missing from the boat. No word yet on what caused that fire. $1.6 billion. That is the record-setting jackpot for the Mega Millions lottery. According to the U.S., or across the U.S. rather, people are snapping up the tickets in hope that they will beat the astronomical odds of winning. It can happen, though. The Powerball jackpot has also climbed up to an estimated $620 million for Wednesday's drawing. That would make this the 5th largest jackpot in U.S. history, but all eyes are on Tuesday's Mega Millions drawing, and what would be the largest jackpot prize in U.S. history, $1.6 billion. Well, there's still news ahead tonight at 9. New details into the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi and why lawmakers aren't buying what officials say about his death. And the Brewers may not be going to the World Series, but a little piece of Milwaukee will be. We'll tell you how after the break. And during the break, go ahead and follow us on social media. We're both on Twitter and Facebook. You just have to search for WMTV Madison CW. It's a great way to stay connected with us. Tonight, new images have emerged of journalist Jamal Khashoggi entering the consulate in Istanbul. The new images obtained by Turkish broadcaster TRT World claim to show the Saudi journalist as he arrives at Saudi Arabia's consulate. The images purportedly show Khashoggi standing outside gates. Another image shows Khashoggi being searched. He's then seen walking into Saudi Arabia's consulate. Saudi officials say they were not aware of the meeting that ended in his death. U.S. lawmakers are not buying it.
Crown Prince has his fingerprints all over this, and the fact that he is heading up the investigation makes it totally incredible.
Both the president and Turkish leaders say they will release more information about what exactly happened to Khashoggi on Tuesday. A growing caravan of Central American migrants resumed their trek in Mexico today, marching towards the U.S. border. The group, numbering in the thousands, overwhelmed Mexican government's attempts to stop them at the border. Many floating across a river illegally from Guatemala to continue their journey. 10 or 20 are being let in at a time and taken to local shelters where they're being told they may have to wait up to 45 days. The migrant caravan has reformed on the Mexican side of the border, heading towards the Mexico-U.S. border. Well, you bummed out that after being beat in Game 7 of the NLCS, well, some of the energy dwindled for fans. This has caused one Wisconsin company to actually kick into high gear. Quad Graphics in Sussex is the company that binds the World Series programs for Major League Baseball. Employees were at the office late Saturday night just waiting for that last out, which would determine who would be advancing. As soon as the game was done, they were on the press.
Everything is shipped from our press room directly to the binder. We're binding, and then I'm hoping to have trucks out of here by tonight and arriving in Boston within 24 to 26 hours.
And while the Brewers were not on the cover, unfortunately, a little piece of the Milwaukee area gets to be part of the World Series. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, survivors and their loved ones are making strides to fight and educate others about the disease. In Green Bay, cancer survivors and supporters are participating in the Strides for Breast Cancer Walk, finding a cure for a disease that affects about 1 in 8 women here in the United States. That's why organizers say so many people are donating to support this cause.
Things we need to do so in the future. Our children, my grandchildren, I have a granddaughter, that we look at it and we say, hey, we have new treatments, we have better treatments, the experience will be better, and hopefully in the end we won't even have to face this.
Organizers say this year's goal is to raise at least $145,000 from people in the Green Bay area to possibly help save the lives of someone else.
From CW News at 9, your no-wait weather forecast.